All right, guys, what's going on? Hope you had a good weekend. Went by too quick, didn't it, guys? The weekend always goes by too quick. So I figured I'd get on here and we're just going to go over some, crime news, what's going on in the headlines and stuff like that. So just start the morning off by, just covering some headlines and see what's going on out there. So spend a little bit of time with you also. So good morning, good morning. Let's see what's going on here. See what we got. Looks like a Florida mom opened her door to a clown who shot her at point blank range. Wow. I hate clowns. I've always hated them. I remember one time when I was in elementary school, we actually had two clowns show up one day for something. I don't know what they showed up for. I was gone. I was out there. I was like, you ain't getting me back in that classroom until, they're gone. A lot of people don't like clowns for some reason, but, of course, all the stuff, what was it? I think there was a movie. I think there was a horror movie after one. None of that stuff helps either. And like this doesn't help either. A Florida mom opens her door to a clown who shot her at point blank range. And yeah, it did kill her. So, who killed Marlene Warren? So that's kind of in the news. That's crazy. Again, I don't like clowns. Let's see. Here's another odd one. Man allegedly ran over a 63-year-old in car wash parking lot before cleaning his own car and fleeing the scene. Wow, guy. Is it getting that bad to wash your car anymore? I mean, runs over a 63-year-old in the car wash parking lot before cleaning his own car and fleeing the scene. Makes you wonder, don't it? Why do you have to wash his car so bad for? Don't it? Well, he already had one crime scene he kind of maybe wanted to wash off of it. You know what I mean? Oh, Lord. What? I've had people cut in front of me on the road. You probably had this happen too, but I've had people cut in front of me on the road. They're behind me. They'll go up and around me and get back over and then turn into a gas station. And I'm like, you could have just stayed behind me and still done the same thing, and you probably would have just lost 2 seconds on your time. 2 seconds. You could have stayed behind me, still turned into the gas station, and it would have only made like a 2-second difference. Now, I don't know if people's got to go to the bathroom that bad. Maybe they're looking to get into the bathroom to do their fix. But I don't understand that. I don't understand people's hurry to get somewhere like just to save 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Here's a church in the headlines. Texas megachurch removes 4 elders from leadership following abuse investigation. Church states will not be tolerated. You go, church. That's what I'm talking about right there. And I'm starting to see a lot more of that. I'm starting to see more churches, make a stand and say, hey, we're not going to tolerate, bad behavior. I mean, number one, we're trying to be Christian-like here. And how can we be Christian-like, if it looks like we're just representing the devil in our actions? So, I'm kind of glad to see a lot more churches taking a stand and not sweeping a lot of stuff under the rug or just turning a blind eye to, bad behavior. Boy, I could talk about a church in Kingsport. I could talk about a church. I could talk about a church in the Summer Wells case right there, buddy. Boy, I could talk about a church in the Summer Wells case big time right there. Anyway. Moving on, guys. Moving on. 10-year-old girl dies after being bitten by a family dog in out-of-character attack. Must have been a pretty bad bite. That must have been a pretty bad bite. We see this off and on, where pets, turn on family members or owners or whatever. And it's just, those are sad situations, especially when it's a kid involved. But, there a couple years ago up here, and there's been other reports too of, like women walking their dogs and they just for some reason turn on the owner and people find them, dead, half eaten, mauled to death. Don't know what's behind that, but, it's just very, very sad situations, That's why I always keep like a ankle biter as a pet. If my ankle biter turns on me, I ain't got nothing to worry about, Might lose an ankle, but that's about it, But, yeah, I don't want to keep no dog. I don't want to have a pet that looks like a damn grizzly bear. Because, the first time it gets pissed off at me, I'm going to lose that fight, you know what I mean? So, yeah. That's the reason why I have an ankle biter for a dog. And not to mention when they do jump up in your lap, they don't smother you to death. Let's see here. What else we got to talk about? Friends mourned teen's suspicious drowning with her mother, then were accused of murdering her out of jealousy. Well, we've seen that plenty of times before. People getting murdered out of jealousy. Seen that plenty of times before. Hey, Breonna Taylor, let's see what's going on here. Breonna Taylor's civil rights were violated by ex-Louisville officer, jury determines. You reckon? Well, I guess they did have to hear it, though, and come to an official, determination. But it's been officially notated that her civil rights were violated by an ex-Louisville officer. That was a bad situation right there. Oh Lord, here's a bad one, guys. Newborn baby girl found dead inside Idaho safe haven box. A heartbreaking situation. I don't have to read that one. I'm going to have to read that one. Let's see what this is about. Oh, okay. So these boxes, these safe haven boxes, they've got alarms on them, and it says here that the staff responded immediately to the alarm, indicating a baby was in the box. The medical team removed the infant from the bassinet within a minute. Upon removal, they quickly realized that the infant had passed away long before being placed in the baby box. I was wondering about, So somebody's in some trouble there. Somebody is in some trouble there. And I'm sure they got cameras pointed at the baby box too, so. Trying to see if anybody is on. I don't see a name. Okay, it looks like a bunch of police departments are investigating it. Looks like they reached out to the Bingham County. I thought it was Birmingham County. Prosecutor's office didn't respond. Okay, so no, they're not dropping any names right now, but yeah, that's a sad situation. I was like, why? How long did it take them to find that baby inside that box? But it looks like the baby was, after doing an investigation, that baby was dead long before being placed in that box. Well, at least they didn't throw it in the trash like some of these other moms did, Leilani Simon. Let's see what we got here. Oh, good Lord. Really? Martha Stewart's daughter, Alexis, fainted in the courtroom when she heard her mom's guilty verdict during the 2004 trial. Was he? Oh, Lord. South Carolina, oh, this is an interesting one, guy. Wow, this is interesting. South Carolina executes inmate Richard Moore despite pleas from jurors, the judge, and others to spare his life. Interesting. So you had jurors, a judge, and others saying, "Hey, don't execute this man," but they did anyway. Okay, so he was accused of fatally shooting someone at a gas station during a robbery. Jurors wrote letters asking to have his sentence changed to life without parole. And I've noticed a lot of states now really frown on the death penalty and stuff like that. So, but there again, guys, once a decision has been made, whether it's life in prison or the death penalty, I guess if you're listening to this video, if you're watching this video and you find yourself as a juror later on in a trial, think about that. Think about that. I mean, that decision you make is probably going to be your final decision. So if you have if you have any thoughts of maybe, well, you need to think about that, because a lot of times it looks to me like unless a governor or the state intervenes, it sounds to me like the decision's final. So yeah, if you find yourself as a juror in a case where the state does do the death penalty, or every state does life in prison, but yeah, if you find yourself as a juror where the state does do the death penalty, man, you better think good and hard about that one, because your decision, according to the state, may be a final decision. And a lot of jurors wrote letters and recommendations. Hey, let's give this guy life in prison after they gave him the death penalty. So yeah, it's something to think about, guys. Something to think about there. So anyway, guys, that's it for some crime news headlines this morning. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging with me. Drop some comments on stuff I talked about that you found interesting, and I'll go back and look at some of them periodically throughout the day, and be back on here later for anything else breaking. I'll find something to post later. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging with me. Go down there and drop some comments on what you thought, or on what you found interesting in what I talked about this morning. News headlines are always fun to go over, ain't they? Anyway, guys, be careful out there washing your cars. I'll see you on the next video.